Hello viewers, welcome back. In this session, we are going to discuss about reusing the layouts with include tag along with the help of merge tag. So include tag is provided to reuse the interactive elements or the layouts to simplify the designing process or the reusable elements. Though we have many widgets out there and the simplified widgets and the layouts, different smart elements are available to do the UI design. But to do it effectively, so and to have a reusable of the elements in the layout, we have include tag. So to efficiently reuse these layouts, we can use include and the merge tags both. So now we'll see how it works. The elements common across your multiple layouts in the application can be extracted and managed separately. Means let us suppose if a particular application has 10 activities. In these 10 activities, you have two common buttons in every activity. In that case, instead of writing this every time completely, we'll create a particular layout, a separate layout, and we will reuse that. So in whichever the layout you want to add a reusable component, we will add include tag in that particular one. So probably you may create a parent layout with linear or relative, whatever it is. Inside that, whatever these two buttons as we are expecting example, so that can be included with layout attribute of the include element tag. So included layouts root view layout params can be overridden. Let us suppose you already defined something in a the common layout which you are defining. So you already defined the parent layout width and layout height params, but that can be overridden inside your layout in the include tag, merge tag. This merge tag is going to eliminate the redundant view groups in the view hierarchy. Let us suppose if you have unnecessary or unused view groups, okay, or the layouts parent, so that can be redundant with the help of this merge. And the nested layouts, because why we required merge, why can't we use the linear layout and relative layout at the parent for those common layout? Because the nested layouts are going to slow down the application UI process. To avoid that, we use merge tag. So when we include layout inside a merge tag with the root view, the system ignores this particular merge tag and places the children's directly into the include with the help of the include tag inside that particular layout. So I'm just going to show a small example here how we will create a common layout and how can be reused with the help of the include tag. Now let's open your Android Studio, create a new project, file new project, name it as reusable layout or include demo, whatever it is. Click on finish. As you know, it will take some time to build the project. Let's wait for that. That build has successfully done. It's still happening here. The project has built successfully. Now, already we know this layout is given for us with a text view. I want to create one layout for the commonly used widgets or views. Inside your layout of the resource directory, right click, go to new, create a layout resource file, name it as common elements or common layout or common.xml, whatever it is. I'm just taking it as common layout. And here the root element is taking constraint layout default. I would like to change this to merge. So you can see here, type merg, you will get it. Click on OK. The respective root element will be defined here. Inside this, you are going to write what exactly the default one you are looking for. If you see here, I have an image view and the text view, which are commonly I'm going to use it multiple times. So instead of writing all these, I'm just going to use once. But most of the cases we'll use such kind of things, the commonly used layouts, especially for the toolbars or the app bar and the buttons, commonly used buttons. This is a small dummy example. That's why I have taken like this for the better view. Inside this, I'm just going to add an image view. So remaining process same as usual. Add the elements whatever you want. So this here I'm going to use that as a SRC, and that must come from a drawable reference. Just take that particular profile icon. So I have just taken this is the student profile icon. Paste it in your drawable folder. Make sure that it's in a plain drawable folder. And now you just access it. Right. Drawable. I cannot see this profile.png. Let me check why. So let's add the closing tag. Now use src at the right drawable. I cannot see this. So sometimes when you add a resource to your project, it may not be get affected. So that you have to clean your project. Go to build, clean project. So it is going to clean the updates and the recently added widget views and the resources will be refreshed. Now you can see here that has been representing here. So I got this and I'm going to add. So width and height are mandate, as we know that. Layout width is wrap content. Then the layout height is also wrap content. There should be a content description to avoid the warnings, as we already know. Done with this, image view is done. Next, I'm going to use a text view. So text view, we already know that the text is required for that. So presently I'm taking some app name as the default one, reusable, or you can use whatever you want. Simply you can say like name. There is no such string called name here. That may throw you an error. Alt enter is a shortcut key. So you can say that as the student name. And same as usual, width and height are mandate. Width wrap content I'm taking. And the same height is also I'm going to take that as a wrap content. So that's all. Just have a look at in the preview. How does it looks like? So this is how it's going to look like. Now come to your layout file where you want to replace this. Just remove it, the text view, and change your constraint layout to linear layout. So the default is going to be horizontal orientation. Let it be. Now inside this, I'm going to add an include one. So I want to add the include. I'm going to include a particular layout. So use include. So and close the tag. Include. Simply, we are going to use a layout here. So layout comes from the @ layout activity main and @ common layout. So this is what I'm going to add. That's all. Just run your project and see, because I am not adding any of the code. Just run it. So no emulators are running, but it's starting an AVD. I forgot to start the AVD, but no problem. It will be loaded very quickly because as it is loading in the studio itself, is an advantage from Android 4.1. Studio 1.1, 4.1.1. So you can see here, this is how it looks like. But now the problem is like the image should be a particular size. So I can override the height and width of a particular layout, but I cannot override the elements height and width. So I can just see layout height is going to be, let us say, 100 dp, and then width also I must, layout width is going to be match parent. Okay, now the error has been resolved. Rerun your project with the applied changes option. There is no difference yet. So just go to your common layout to change your width and height. The default height and width of a profile icon is like basically 96. You can put, sorry, not 90, 96. So this we will discuss about all these, what is parameters and the DP, what is pixel and all in a particular session. Don't worry. So all done. Now just run your project, complete project. The Gradle build is running. So this is how it looks like. And again, this is not aligned properly. So you can use layout gravity. We already know that layout gravity is center vertical. And if you want to see that how it's going to be look like in the preview, you can check like this. Okay, it's showing like in a vertical. So now you can change your adding and all alignments here. So this is center vertical. Now apply for the same here. Change your layout gravity, center vertical. Now run your project. This is how we call it as trial and error method. Just give a try, find an error, change it. If you see here, this particular image is patched up or bumped up to the corner of this particular icon. Sorry, device. So let's add some margin for this outside margin 10 dp. All four sides is going to create a white space. Run your project again. So if you don't want to run again and again, because as I have a huge processor, I'm doing this. But when you don't want to do that, then just look at that in the preview or the split design and this. This is how it looks like. Okay. Now the thing is like, I want to add one more layout here. Just go to your this, and now you can simply remove this. You don't want this, simply include is enough. Now run your project and see how does it looks like. Same. Okay. And now I'm just going to repeat the same thing here. Open angular bracket, include, so close it, add layout attribute, which is going to refer a or include a layout. So now run your project. So now it's showing side by side, right? Because the default orientation for the linear layout is horizontal. Now change the orientation of the parent to vertical. Done. Now just run it. And you can add like this. But the problem is, the student name is also coming here. Now just go back to your common layout and change your orientation for the merge. So it's not giving any orientation. No issues. You can give side by side. And when you want to add more and more, so that is why most of the cases, instead of creating the complex layout in the include statement, include tag, we'll use a simple views like buttons and all we will use. So that would be pretty easy to use the reusable code in that case. So if you want to add the same for another layout, just go to your layout, go to Java in your package, create a new activity. Inside that new activity also you can use the same thing. So this is how we work with include and merge attributes and reusability of the elements or layout. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's catch up in the next session.